What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rivalry, our weekly NFC West talk on Wednesdays with me, Joe Stevens, and Ryan, aka No Crypto, aka Some Crypto, aka all the crypto at No Board Sports. What's happening?
What up, Joe?
Oh, so what I missed while I was gone? Anything fun?
Personally, I just started a new job, been dealing with that. Kind of had YouTube also take a side step for me for a second, but I'm back, ready to get into it.
We're back and better than ever. So yeah, we didn't go anywhere. Just had both of us had personal things to deal with. So that's life. But anyways, what do you want to talk about today? What do you want to get into? The schedule has been released since we've been gone. Rookie mini camps happened since we've been gone. What do you want to get into?
Well, we definitely need to touch on some rookie camp, but I think that we can go over the schedule. I think that's not an issue.
Okay.
We don't have to give our reviews, but we can. Did you hear about the schedule?
Hear about what?
Anybody in your circle's been talking about? Oh, I'm cutting out.
Yeah, my bad.
Good.
But while you reset that, I guess. Oh, go ahead. Well, Ryan resets that. I guess I'll just go through the Seahawks schedule. I think we got, I don't know, it's a pretty type deal. We already knew the opponents. The main thing I'm focusing on is the primetime games. We have 2 Thursday night games in a row, one at home on Thanksgiving against the 49ers, and then one Thursday night on the road the next week against Dallas. And then we have one Monday night game on the road at New York. So that will make all the Seahawks season ticket holders very happy that we only have one home primetime game this year, because those stink going to work the next day, especially the Monday night games. The Monday night games are the worst. But yeah, what do you guys got going on? Oh, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I apologize. But yeah, no, I'm super excited. We got a pretty tough. We play Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, obviously, Washington, Cleveland, Arizona. You there?
Yep.
All
right. I think I'm delayed though.
I can hear you now. What's so how many primetime games do you guys have? What's up?
I didn't look at that actually. What a great show on tonight with what's his name? Cross. He was one of our guys who won a Super Bowl with us. It's like David Cross, I think.
Okay.
She said 5.
Man, those primetime games.
Bowls? 5 Super Bowls, I'm guessing that was?
No, I think it means 5 primetime games.
Oh.
But
he probably won
3.
Randy Cross, that's what it is. I'm so horrible for not knowing that.
How do you feel? I guess if you were to pick one game out of the season that you think is your not must win, but kind of must watch, the one that you want everybody to tune into, which one do you think it is?
There's 2.
Okay.
Eagles and Seahawks Thanksgiving.
Okay, yeah, the Seahawks Thanksgiving game is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And we don't play each other before then either. So last year they made the mistake of I guess you guys beat us 3 times, but
I think it's better when
once later in the year.
You see Still with us?
Yeah, I think it's your connection. I really do. I don't even think it's your microphone. But whatever. We'll just keep chugging along. It's a
Can
guys.
you
It's
hang
our
for a
first.
couple minutes why I reset?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, just pop right back in. Until
All right.
then, if the chat has any questions or anything, feel free to ask. What is happening? Joe's back. Yeah, I guess Ryan's back too. I've been gone for a couple weeks. Just know that I haven't forgot about you guys or anything. It's just I had some really personal stuff I had to deal with. Nothing bad at all. Actually, good stuff that I had to deal with. So yeah, how have you guys been? Let me know if I missed anything in the chat or any questions you have about the schedule or about, I guess, the rookies. I'm here to answer those questions, or I mean, about anything. So go ahead. But like Ryan was saying, I think we'll get into the Thanksgiving game when he gets back a little bit. But yeah, other than that, I think our best game, other than the Thanksgiving, the one I'm looking most forward to, it has to be week 1, like always. Right, we all gotta wait for week 1. I mean, all the anticipation is until September 10th. What is my favorite color? Blue and green, obviously. I think Seattle could be our toughest opponent. I think so too, and I think we made some huge strides on, really competing with the 49ers for the division this year. So we'll see. I know. I'll tell you that I was super stoked that was the thing, and that was the first Seahawks and 49ers matchup this season. I'll tell you, my wife's not happy that's on Thanksgiving Day, so hopefully she'll be with me. Do we play you at all? Yes, we do, Sponge. Oh, what's sorry, little Spongy. I missed you a lot, dude. Week 15 in Seattle, we play each other. That's a 1:00 kickoff game. Right. I don't think the Niners go 15-2. I think they're, let's say, 13-4. I think because there's gonna be more than 2 games. I think that you guys trip up over. But if you go 13-4 and win the Super Bowl, I don't think anybody's gonna complain. Little Spongy is official, my buddy. You back?
We good?
Sounds better.
Okay.
We'll see for how long, but it does sound better.
Right? Yeah. No. That's that Thanksgiving Day. We've got 2. Oh, so this is what I was trying to get into with the schedule. We have like negative 20 days. We're deficient like 20 rest days between our opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like twice, or I think like 5 teams we get that are coming off either like bye weeks or extended weeks. And then we've got like on short weeks and whatnot. And we got 2 Thursday night games, I believe, this year.
Yeah, we have 2. Did they stack yours back to back like ours? Because ours is Thanksgiving and then the week after. Maybe your guys is the week before. And
I don't think so. I think it's earlier. We kind of got screwed. The Jets have got like a plus 18.
Oh, of course they do, because they want the Jets to be good.
I'm telling you, it's crazy how things just kind of happen, But
Little Sponge says nice
Steve-O
haircut,
Supremo.
Brian.
Thank you, Sponge. Yeah. Steve-O says he thinks the mic was used to the beard. Oh, that's hilarious.
Now, Brian says, now I don't feel so bad. My mic pops too.
Well, it shouldn't be my mic. It's my connection, which I shouldn't have connections issues either. Like, oh, man.
The mic's popping. It's not a big deal. Brian, don't start that. The Jets ain't shit. I really don't think they're going to be that good. I really don't think the Jets are going to be that good.
I don't think you can get through those top teams without being in the hunt for a year or 2. You know what I mean? I guess you could fluke your way in there, but I don't see that happening. There's a lot of competition at the top on the AFC. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah,
going to have to.
exactly. Like, look at their quarterbacks that they have. I mean, the AFC compared to the NFC.
Not even the quarterbacks. You got complete teams over there, like the Bills. The Bills, I'm surprised they haven't been to the Super Bowl /1. They have been like at the top like every year. It's crazy. So there's that. You know what I mean? And the Chiefs, you got Patrick Mahomes, yes, quarterback, but also you got Andy Reid calling the plays. They put together a great team. They had issues with Cap, to the point where they had to let people walk and whatnot, and they went back in the draft and had rookies come in and play big time to win the Super Bowl for them. So you know what I mean? There's teams in there that you're not just gonna show up and be like, hey, I'm the new guy on the block. I've got 18 plus days, this and that. I'm obviously gonna just run through all you guys. No, over their dead bodies. Like, you're gonna have to really learn how to be mean, and that offense hasn't shown that it can do that. The defense shows that it's got some hope, definitely, that it could do that, but the offense isn't under there. It's gonna take a minute, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, yeah, no, it's just, I just show it to me first, make the playoffs, show it to me, and then maybe I'll start believing. Show me that they can do it. That's right, Brian.
Yes, Brian, see yourself out.
So I'm going to tell you something that's actually crazy. My most anticipated game, obviously, of the schedule, is the 49ers Thanksgiving game. And I think the last time we played you guys at Thanksgiving, and I think that was kind of the nail in Harbaugh's coffin, because we were both 7-4 going into that game. And I think I've talked to you about this before. We were both 7-4 going into the game. Basically, and then we won that game. But after that, you guys finished 8-8, and we finished 12-4. And we went to the Super Bowl. We obviously lost the Super Bowl to the Patriots, but I mean, that's a game that just sticks in my mind. And it was in 2014. So was that Levi's Stadium, or was that?
There was a lot going on behind the scenes at that time. So it wasn't just that game.
Yeah. No, I know. It's just that
many different storylines running all through the building, from the GM to the head coach having issues, to people on the team, being with Kaepernick, and other people just wanting to play football. Like there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, I mean? No, I just as a Seahawks fan, though, I mean, that was the last game that we went to with the Harbaugh, with the 49ers in general, until about 2018, I think it was, where we were like, oh shoot, this is going to be the toughest game of the year, right? So that was awesome. But
2019 was a great year. 2019, that the last game of the season, what I mean, with that last play at the goal line, no matter what side of that was a hell of an ending, and especially it was the last game of the 100th season of the NFL, and what a way to end it. You know what I mean? Just with that type of a play going down, at the goal line. You know what I mean? He doesn't make it in at the last second. You know what I mean? Wow.
And
it's just crazy.
Any game that's decided by about 1 inch on the very last play is, I mean, that, especially for the division, and that was the last play of the regular season. Well, I think you guys got the ball back and took a knee or something. There was probably I couldn't tell you, but I want to say there was 10 seconds left or something. But yeah, that was the most. And especially
nobody remembers that, though. You know what I mean? At that point, the clock just rolled and everybody ran onto the field and it was over. You know what I mean? That's how everybody remembers it.
No, exactly. But the fact that you had to watch the play at least twice, once live and once the replay, to see if he really got in or not, too. That was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That was an awesome game.
And it was dude, I wouldn't even say it was within an inch. I would say it was under an inch. You know what I mean? It was so, but you looked at it and you're like, that's not in. But you know what I mean? You're like, but you could tell that another half an inch, and you'd be like, "Oh, you got a case here. You got a case here." You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And well, as like obviously as a Seahawks fan, I want him to get in. But yeah, you look at it and you're like, oh no, he wasn't. But no.
Telling you, another half inch, you got a case. Another half inch, you got a case, bro.
But yeah, that was a wild game. I mean, we've always had some great matchups, especially in prime time, and then we've had some not so good ones, right? Like, well, I guess the playoff. I'll consider that playoff game in prime time, even though it was at 1 p.m. on a Saturday or whatever. When the national spotlight is on you, we've really had some good games. So I'm excited for that. This will be my first time seeing the Cleveland Browns in person this year. I'm very excited about that.
That's a game I don't want to go to see.
I want to see all 32 teams in person. That's kind of my
goal.
You. Yeah.
If I was a season ticket holder, that would be one thing I'd have to check off my list, because it would make sense if I didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And well, like I said before, I'm kind of like half my season tickets are in one place, half of them are on the other place, because I get half of them from one family member and then the half from the other. So I guess I'm not considered like a season ticket holder, but essentially, yes, I am. I'm two halves season ticket holders. So you'll see me in two different places. But yeah, no, it's that's the only team that I haven't seen that's coming here this year. And the Steelers one's going to be awesome. I've only seen them once before in my life in person, and they're coming on New Year's Eve this year. So I'll be excited for that.
Yeah. No, that's a milestone moment. I don't think I'd ever be a season ticket holder, because I wouldn't be living in California anymore. Like, if I wasn't trying to move to Arizona, I would just live in Washington. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason why I'm going back to California. I'm sorry. I want my grass to be green. I don't care if I got to deal with 9 months of rain. You know what I mean? I want to be able to have fun. Go splash in the river.
Boy, what was so awesome about last season, though, going into the season? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my God, my computer screen just went black and then it came back on. I thought everything just shut off. Like this season, obviously the game that's circled is the November 23rd Thanksgiving game against the 49ers. Last season was so awesome because Russell Wilson, week 1 Monday Night Football, that's what everybody had circled. So, I mean, this year we're like, okay, yeah, well, obviously we can't wait for the season, but that one game is the game that everybody wants to go to. But last year it was awesome because we didn't have to wait for that one game, right? We just had to wait one Sunday, watch all the games, and then watch that. But you were saying earlier there was 2 games I missed. You said the Eagles, right, and the Seahawks.
Yep.
Eagles in Philly.
The Eagles, obviously, there was. Oh, it's in Philly. Oh, it's in Philly. We're going back into that hole. Yeah.
What month do you know?
No, hold on. I will pull it up.
Sorry, that's my bad. I put you on the spot there.
Oh, you're all good.
Oh, Steve-O says November.
Yep, here, I got it right here. Or I don't, because it just did some dumb stuff. Oh, no, we're good. So the Eagles, December 3rd.
Okay.
So we play you and then the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, and we play you. We play you on a short week. So we play the Buccaneers on the 19th, and then we play you on the 23rd.
Yeah, we play same deal. We play the Rams on the 19th, and then you on the 23rd, and then you play the Eagles on Sunday night. I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's got to be a primetime game, right?
Yeah, I'm guessing. That should be. They're like, that's a game everybody's looking at.
Yeah, that'd be senseless not to. But yeah, no, we got a few tough games in there. Obviously, we have the Rams twice. We got the Bengals in there.
And I personally like ending the season with a divisional game. I think that's
yeah,
how
they started doing that. What year did they start doing that? Oh no, but it was stupid before they did it, right? Because I don't know. I think it's way awesome because a lot of the times, it takes till that very last week for the division to actually be decided when it's close.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why
Go
they
ahead.
have us playing the Cardinals in the last week, and then I'm assuming you guys play the Rams. I don't know why they wouldn't have the Seahawks and the 49ers in the last week of the season in Santa Clara. You'd think that'd be something.
We got the Cards December 17th.
Mhm.
And then we have the Cards right after you. Who knows that? You know how the scheduling goes. They just put the thing in the computer and then they press, plus on the Jets 18 times, and then they press minus on the 49ers 20 times, and then they set up they press play, and it just makes the schedule.
Well, everybody, that's another
just
thing about. No, seriously, yeah, no, it's people bitch about the Seahawks having to travel so much compared to other teams, but we're also the only team in the Northwest. I mean, it's always going to be that way.
We also have the Cowboys on October 8th.
Okay, yeah, we got the Cowboys November 30th, Thursday night. So.
And the Bengals. We got the Bengals on October 29th.
Okay, yeah, we have them October 15th.
Yeah, so me and you both will have a team we can kind of really test our mettle against, you know what I mean, as far as an AFC juggernaut type team.
Yeah, because to open the season, so the Seahawks have a super early bye. We have a bye week 5. Open the season, we got Rams, Lions, Panthers, Giants. I think all those games, obviously, I don't think we're going to win all 4 of those, but we should go 3-1. We should go 3-1.
We have a 5-game stint where all we do is play teams that mascots are birds.
Yeah, we don't have that. But we are one of the bird teams, obviously. So
yeah, you are one of the bird teams that we play.
we have half of the first 6 games. So 3 of the first 6 games are against Cats, Lions, Panthers, Bengals.
Listen to this: Seahawks, Eagles, Seahawks, Cardinals, Ravens.
Oh, you guys got the Ravens. Oh, so we both have the AFC North this year.
Yeah,
obviously, NFC West.
That's our whole division. Yeah.
So what's that?
Which I think that's good too, because it's a good way to judge, your team against other teams, to figure out, okay, well, how they play against this, if we both had issues with this, you know what I mean? But certain times it comes down to the defensive coordinator and their strategy. So, you know what I mean? It's not absolute.
That makes sense. But I really, I guess the only bitch I'd have about the schedule this year is that we have 2 Thursday night games. I hate Thursday night games. But at least only one of them's at home and everybody's got the next day off because Thanksgiving Friday. Well, most people do. The only bitch I'd have is I think that you want to play the 1 and 2 teams and the 3 and 4 teams from last year in week 18 of every division.
Yeah. I would see a case for that. I could see a case for that.
I just don't get why you're doing 1 and 4 with the 49ers and Rams, and then 2 and 3 with the Seahawks and Cardinals. Or no, is that backwards? Yeah, 2 and 4 because I don't know. They both sucked last year.
It's probably backwards. The Rams are probably going to have a better year this year than they did last year.
Yeah.
I have a feeling. Kyler Murray is out for who knows how long of the season, and I don't expect anybody in that building to. They also got a new head coach, you know what I mean, offense. It's not conducive for them to have a good start while Kyler Murray's not there. And for Kyler Murray, who knows if he's going to be in the building while this is going on? Is he really doing his homework, or is he playing video games?
Yeah. Here's last question about schedule for you. Do you guys have any overseas games at all this year?
No.
Thank God, dude. Those suck. I was so happy when I saw that we don't play any. I don't know if you guys played in London. It sucks,
dude. If you're gonna send somebody over there, they should have to have a bye afterwards, and like they need to either that or have them go from England to Germany. You know what I mean? Something. You know what I mean? Like just figure something out. I think like the 49ers should do a game in Mexico City every year.
I don't. Just because of the people that buy season tickets for the 49ers, I'd feel bad for those people losing a home game. I think that's bullshit.
Well, you don't have to lose a home game. You could flop it every other year, and the other team loses a home game.
Yeah,
that's probably
exactly.
How it go.
Exactly. But, well, I realize the waiting list isn't that long for Jaguars season tickets, but imagine the people that do have season tickets for the Jaguars, and that's their team. And then they lose a game every year because they go to London.
Yeah. Well, they said they weren't going to London this year because they went to a different town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, how was the rookie mini camp for you guys? Anything stand out? Everything quota?
Well, we got a wide receiver you might know from the XFL from the Dragons.
Who?
Do you know any? Oh, probably the XFL leading wide receiver.
Dude, so to tell you the truth, I bought season tickets to the Dragons. I went to one game. I went to their very first game this year, and then after that, I was like, oh no, I'm good. I didn't make it to a single one after that. I barely even watched them.
Oh no.
Yeah. So
yeah. I can't remember. Hold on, let me get his name.
Oh, you were banking on
me
knowing this one. You were banking on me knowing this one. I get it.
I thought you would. I was like
you know.
banking on it. I was just like,
bro, someone signed Danucci too from the old Dragons.
Yes. Who was that?
I forget. But...
See. Oh, it was the Denver Broncos.
Oh, of course it was. They suck.
Shakur Pearson.
Oh, Pearson. I thought you were gonna say Josh Gordon. I really did, and I was like, oh, okay, probably be suspended.
No, yeah, no doubt. So one of the guys, Grant Cohn, who was at rookie minicamp, he said that he's seen the guy show up, and he's like, okay, what's this guy gonna bring to the table? This guy's like 5 foot nothing. You know, he looks all weird. He's got these short legs, and like his body just doesn't look right. He says pretty much, and then the moment the ball gets snapped, he goes streaking down the field, and he's like, okay, I see why he's here. Like, guys just flying all over the field, just getting over it. It's like, oh, okay, this guy can do things, and he might be returning punts for us. So
okay.
That sounds like one thing. He can get his foot in the door and maybe get on the 53, and if he can do that, then he can find his way into certain situations. I don't see him being a blocker. You know what I mean? That means you're not going to get any real time. But he's got a chance to go in on certain plays at times. You know what I mean? Where people are going to have to respect what he can do on the field, or else they're going to get burnt. You know what I mean? Because the scheme is going to scheme him open.
Now,
And if
who
you're
was
not on
your
the P's and
guys'
Q's,
punt and kick returner last year? McLeod, was it?
yes,
Ray.
Ray.
So he's kind of out then, or you're just thinking he's going to be competing for that spot?
Yeah, he's going to be competing for that spot.
Oh, okay.
That's the spot he's going to be. Ray. We like Ray, but at this moment, we've got 12 wide receivers on the roster right now, and we only keep 6. And it seems like all 12 of them could
make a team.
Well, like there's Ronnie Bell, who we got, who he might or might not make the team.
Mm-hmm.
He might go on waivers to the practice squad. There's just a lot going on. He's going to be so. You got Brandon Ayuk's contract. It's ending next year. Deebo Samuel's contract is ending in 2 years. There's a way you can let Deebo play out his contract and sign Brandon Ayuk for a long-term deal and have them both on the same team at the same time. But you can't keep Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, and Deebo on the same team after next year. Because Juwan Jennings has made a name for himself, as third and Juwan. And that's just going to price him out of our room. So Ronnie Bell seems like our new third and Juwan. The guy's got like great hands. He attacks the ball. He's got a little wiggle at the top of the route, could get open. But he's the third and Juwan, and somehow he's going to make it onto the team, I think, or at least they're going to try and figure out how to get him to the practice squad. But I think that we've got we signed Willie Snead back again because Willie Snead's great in this system. There's a lot of things going on. We just Shakur Pearson. You know what I mean? We got guys. So we got Danny Gray, Danny Gray is a speedster that you guys haven't seen.
No, I haven't. You guys keep talking about him. I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, he's got to learn how to block it. He's got to learn how to either block or he's got to figure out how to get more routes on his route tree. You know what I mean? And get some wiggle at the top of the route or something like that when he's got people on him. Because if somebody's on him, he can't break free. But the moment he can get that position, he's gone. So that's his issue. And he just can't. He's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
Right now, we need a guy like Trey Lance who can hit these guys deep, and really use that speed to its, full potential.
Yeah, exactly. Having a guy that can hit the deep ball is something special too, because you don't see it in everybody. Thankfully, we lucked out last year with Geno was able to hit the deep ball really well. We had Russell Wilson for a really long time, who, I don't think there's a better. No, Brian.
That could be a thing though. Think about it. Seattle's ties to Japan.
Hope to God not.
Think about it.
I'm just no.
The Mariners in Japan, Ichiro, which is one of my all-time favorite baseball players, is Ichiro.
Don't even get me started on the Mariners. I just don't get me started on the Mariners, and don't get me started on playing overseas, because that's two things that'll piss me off really quick, like really fast. But no, I think I'm just excited for the Seahawks. Just seeing our first round rookies. I'm really excited for Smith and Jigba. I think having Lockett, Metcalf, and Smith and Jigba is going to be scary three people that cover all at once. So
something else I thought you should know is our new defensive coordinator is going to pair our defensive line with press man at certain times. So your short down darted, your third and shorts and whatnot, or just third downs in general. You're either getting press man or press man and a blitz.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it looks like we're coming after people this year on third down. And that addition of trying to, get some press man, which the 49ers did a little bit of in the beginning of the season because they had two corners that could really do that well. And now it seems like Steve Wilkes has brought in guys who really kind of specialize in this, like Luter Jr. So that's a thought. What about news from your rookie camp? Well, us Niner fans want to hear all the dish from your guys' side.
Haven't heard a whole lot other than there's this one safety. I forget his name. Let me find it really quick. I guess he stood out a lot. One of our rookie running backs did say it reminded him of Georgia, so little Sponge will be happy about that. He's a Georgia Bulldog.
What reminded him of Georgia?
The mini camp, just everybody being dogs, I guess.
Oh,
God, where was the guy? He has a weird name, or not weird name. He went to a weird school. Jarek Reed II. He's a safety from, God, I couldn't tell you where. It was one of those that they didn't even have him on Pro Football Focus when we drafted him. He was like
Gotcha.
a 6th-round pick. I guess he made some. He made a great impression. And then a couple guys we got. That's what it was. Cam Young. Looking good at nose tackle, which how good do you think he's really shown? I don't think they're doing full padded practices. So I don't think you can see how good a nose tackle is until you can actually, at least the preseason, see him eat up some of those blocks and some of those gaps. So
and it's like you can't judge offensive tackles at all either, or offensive linemen at all without pads on. This is a whole different game. You know what I mean? Like I used to be an offensive lineman.
You can judge their footwork and all that, and
Yeah.
how fast they get their hands up. But yeah, it's not I mean, they can get totally pushed backwards 10 feet into the dirt until you see them with pads, right? So I think it's May 17th right now. So we got June, July, August. We're 3 months away, less than 3 months away from the preseason. I think there'll be a few guys that we're not even talking about now. Once the preseason rolls around, we'll see them, and knowing the Seahawks, they'll cut them, and then who exactly? He's just a safety from a small school. I'm excited to see our 2 first-round picks play a lot, and even our second-round picks. The Zach Charbonnet should be a good 1-2 punch with Kenneth Walker. But I'm really excited for Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback. So, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, no, finish up.
He's not your typical Seahawks cornerback. He's only 6 feet tall, and people knock him on that. But, I'd rather have a 6-foot shutdown corner than a 6'3" piece of garbage. So,
if you can do your job, I don't care what your measurables are. You know what I mean? Like if you can do your job and you give 100% effort, I'm okay with that. I don't care what this other shit is. It makes no sense to get hung up on shit like that when you got somebody who can just play.
Well, I think it's just they're used to Richard Sherman now, and they're used to Tariq Woolen and even Shaquille Griffin. They're used to these guys being 6'2" or taller, right? But I mean, Darrelle Revis was 5'11". I don't think anybody was bitching that he was 5'11".
Nope. Why? Because he did his job.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had Trey Flowers, who was 6'3", and he sucked. We had Dunbar, who was 6'3", and sucked. But go ahead. Sorry.
The 49ers drafted a tight end named Braden Willis. I don't know if you remember.
Maybe. What school?
Oh, geez. Oklahoma?
Okay, maybe I do. Was that had to be
Played
a
with Bryce
third?
Young. 6th round.
Oh,
or 7th round. He was a 7th round pick. So it turns out so when the 49ers drafted him, he said 31 other teams gonna pay. So in other words, he's gunning for all y'all. Okay, so be ready.
Okay,
And
I'm sure.
turns out the 49. Well, there's some reason you might want to be wary of this guy. He played tight end, so he could block, but he might be more used in the backfield at times,
Oh, like a fullback.
like a fullback. But he's got better route running skills than Juszczyk probably.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? And yeah, so
it's just
so
hard.
just wait.
It's just hard with these 7th rounders, right? Because it's like
Well, now let me
Steve-O,
get to the
that's
point.
bring up Steve-O. That's when you said I'm gonna make all those other teams pay. That's exactly what I thought of. Didn't work for Rosen.
Oh no, this guy's different. You know what I'm saying? Rosen felt like he deserved to be taken somewhere. This guy's, he's just mad that other teams passed him up. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's
and
not
Sherman-
saying, like So what I was trying to get to is Braden Willis had the 49ers golden helmet. So on the draft board, he was there like the one pick that they wanted to have. And they let themselves get to the 7th round on him. So they picked Cameron Latu with the 3rd round pick.
So that's the one
tight
I
end.
was thinking of that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, so that's the guy who's probably going to play on the line. He can block really well. You know what I'm saying? And he's all right. But also Braden Willis, when he's going downfield and he knows he can't score, he's trying to make the person who's going to end up tackling him pay. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them that's like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get out of this, so I'm going to put my shoulder into you and, truck you. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting a highlight reel out of it. Yeah, definitely. So that's why I'm saying, like, you got to watch out for people like that because, not only do they get off doing that to people and they kind of get, energized by it, and confident, but the team does. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched some of these moments when Kittle does something like that, that's like almost superhuman on the football field. The defense feels like they have to reciprocate, like they have to give up an offering to the God Kittle, you know what I mean, to show their worthiness. You know what I'm saying? And then and then everybody's just like, oh, let's just go be superhuman on these guys. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of, and then that also at the same time destroys the morale of the other team. Because when you just see back-to-back, drives either go for a touchdown and then your drive just fail, on a miraculous play where someone just did something, superhuman or something like that, it really, kicks you in the gut.
Yeah, it does. We saw that for a long time, obviously, with Marshawn Lynch and that defense. So,
yes, that's another. Oh my gosh, because that guy, not only he would break some every now and then, but man, his 6 yards a clip, you know what I mean, and it just being nasty, like like a alley fight, you know what I'm saying, and him getting through just people, him going into the pack one way and somebody falling out of the pack the other way, like it was a great time watching him run, and yes, that defense definitely keyed people up.
But no, I think they fed off each other, like you said. So if you can get like a guy like that, because Marshawn Lynch was the heart and soul of that team. He was, no matter what. Russell was great. That defense was great. But Marshawn Lynch, that's who everybody rallied around, offense and defense. So if you can get you a guy like that, more power to you, right?
Well, yeah, and look, we got a Deebo Samuel. We got a Christian McCaffrey. You know what I mean? Those are guys that can make plays, on those levels, like a Kittle, not necessarily like superhuman. Well, maybe kind of, with their wiggle, you know what I mean? But like McCaffrey's a freaking weapon and a half, bro. You know what I mean? Not only is dangerous in the run game, but Lord help you if he's the what do you call it? The check down route. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's if you slip in and letting him get any sort of space away from you and that's your guy, oh, you're in trouble. Because once he gets the balls in his stand, he's gone.
Yeah, I'm just. I think our receivers are going to scare you guys a little bit this year. Those 3 guys that Njigba, Lockett, and Metcalf. I think that's something as 49ers fans to pay attention to going in. We don't play you guys until November, but going into that, I think they're going to make headlines, because before, if one of them went down, right, if either Lockett or Metcalf went down, they just key off on covering the other guy. But if you can have three of them and they're all healthy at the same time, that's going to be insane.
Oh, I'm sure Steve Wilks, our defensive coordinator, is thinking about that right now. Either that or he has a plan and he's figuring out how he's going to implement it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, we got Jake Bobo. Bryant's jealous because we got Jake Bobo as an undrafted free agent. That's his guy.
Yep.
Sorry, Bryant. Can't have him back until we cut him.
So we got, what's his name? Somebody Laborn that everybody's talking about. I can't remember his name off the top of my Laborn, something like that. He's a running back. We also got a guy named Joey Fisher, who's an undrafted free agent. Now this guy, he seemed like a beast in all his tape, but his first day of rookie training camp, he had to pull himself from drills because he was dehydrated. He might have gotten too hot, and they were like, before you die on the field, just go chill, because that can happen. People need to know about that. People can pass out and die on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't. It's just I think this is gearing up to be a really two-team race for the NFC West. I don't know if you see anything different, because I ain't seen the Rams do much. I ain't seen the Cardinals do much. But
that is, I think that's I think the Rams will be middle of the pack. You know what I mean? I have a feeling there, but it won't be. I don't think it'll be close between us two. We might be going back and forth. You know what I mean?
That's why I wish we played on the last game of the season. I really do, because I think that game could decide the division if it was week 18.
Yeah. And the 49ers still have $10 million in cap, so I don't know what we're still planning on doing. I think we might be saving it for a mid-season acquisition.
Yeah, the Seahawks kind of did the same thing. We restructured Tyler Lockett's contract that freed up like $8.6 million. I don't know if you saw that. But so, yeah, we have money too, but I just don't. Who knows, right? They could be waiting till the trade deadline, see where we're at. But then again, it's not baseball. So I don't know.
There's also some good defensive edge people out there still.
Yeah.
So
Frank Clark.
Yeah.
Frank Clark. Brian thinks you guys are going to go 15-2. On paper, that sounds good. I was telling him this while you were redoing your thing. On paper, 15-2 looks good, but realistically, I think it's going to be more like 13-4, 12-5.
That's exactly kind of where I'm at. And, it's funny. So last year, Waruna and I did our season predictions. Mm-hmm. And I guessed, I think it was 14-3. And Waruna was like, don't you think that's a little much? And I go, yeah, it probably is, but I just don't see us losing games, dude. I don't see us losing games. And when it came down to it, I was one off. And I think this year we could go 12-5. But I think we could go even 14-3. You know what I mean? But to say we only lose 2 games, I think is just too much. You know what I mean?
Isn't it like, so weird? Sorry, getting off topic for just 1 second. Isn't it so weird not saying 14-2 or 13-3? I'm still in the mindset of 13-3, 14-2, 12-4. That's it.
Yeah.
8-8, 9-7. That's those numbers will always stick in my head. So when people ask how I think the Seahawks will do, I'll go, "Oh, I think like 11-5." Sounds good. They'll be like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I guess you're right. There's one more game now." It's been 2 years and I still can't get used to it.
It's a tie. Look, I'm still having to think about it. I'm getting better, but I'm having to think about it at times.
But yeah, no, I think obviously there'll be games that both of us will trip up. Like both of us, there's going to be games that we shouldn't have lost. But then again, there's also games like,
and
like
what's funny?
Go ahead.
The games that I had picked us to win and lose, they weren't right. You know what I'm saying? They weren't right. But though, the total ended up winning. So that's why, like, when people are like, you think you're going to win this game, you could go down through it. And I'm like, I really don't like doing that, because to me, it's all, any given Sunday, essentially. But I think our team is better. And, I what I do is I take what I think the team's value is and who they could beat, essentially. And then I give my team that percentage amount of wins. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I think. You know what I mean? And so for the Niners to only go 15-2, you're going to have to catch a couple teams on a really bad day at times to get that, especially with our schedule. And I don't think that's it. We're going to have to figure out how to play some depth at times this year and still win games, because we need to rest starters and keep them healthy.
Yeah, or injuries come up, obviously, right? And I mean,
yeah,
even the Cardinals, projected to be the worst team in the NFL, I could see one of us losing a game to the Cardinals just because it's a divisional opponent, right? I could see one of us losing one game to the Cardinals, and would it surprise me that day going, "Oh shit, they lost to the Cardinals"? Not really, because it's a divisional game. I mean, games like we play at Cincinnati, are we probably going to lose that? Yeah, but would it absolutely shock me if we won? No, not really. Basically like that. That's kind of how I feel with the NFL schedule.
And see, I want my players to believe they could win every game, but like me, I need to kind of be reasonable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I've seen the Seahawks win games that they shouldn't have won and lose games that they
shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it so many times, especially since Pete Carroll's been the head coach. Because with Mike Holmgren, it was always basically what you see is what you get, right? And that's what we're doing. These guys are good. We suck.
We got smacked by the Falcons, and they ran all over our ass, and we were like the number one run defense.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but 9 times out of 10, you should have won that game, right? But it was that one time out of the 10, right? Then that's kind of how a lot of the NFL is. It's just that day, what the coaches have planned that day, how the players are feeling, right? Because it's not all on the coaches, the players got to do their jobs too, right? And when they mess up, what do you do? I mean, we played the Saints last year. We should not have lost that game. How we lost it, because Taysom Hill scored like 3 touchdowns. And I'm sorry, if Alvin Kamara scores 3 touchdowns, I'm fine. Well, I'm not fine, but okay, that guy scored 3 touchdowns. It doesn't really surprise me. But to have Taysom Hill beat you, dude, we just weren't prepared. So.
I'm going to send you a link for a light.
I know. That's my bad.
You're good.
But yeah, sorry for ranting about that. But
no, please. This is your show.
It's our show. Also, I'm a little bit rusty coming back too. So it's like it's been a couple weeks,
You're doing great.
So yeah, but
what do you think? Do you see the Seahawks going again this year?
Like I said, let me think of the math here. 11-6, 12-5 wouldn't surprise me, and anywhere between 10 and 12 wins wouldn't surprise me. If they finish,
you guys
Go ahead.
You guys could realistically win as many as 13. You know what I mean? It's not within the realm of impossibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just it's all based on how the rookies play too. Because we're a
exactly.
really obviously our draft was huge. We had 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, a third-round pick, and those guys need to perform. And if they don't, we win 9 games. That's not out of the realm either, the realm of possibility. But I'd be pretty upset if we finished below 500. I'd be absolutely
Yeah.
shocked if we won 13 games. Not shocked, because once you see the season start to play out, and then you
Yeah.
start thinking, oh, this is realistic. But as of right now, I'd be shocked if we won 13. I'd be absolutely shocked if we won 8. So anywhere between 10 and 12.
Because your defense was really kind of picking up some steam there last year. And I'm sure that made
fell off a cliff. Then it fell off a cliff too. Just the run defense sucked.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, people were getting after it. Like, you guys weren't necessarily pushovers.
Mm-mm.
Like, even in the game we played you know what I mean? It wasn't like we just ran all over you and put things in your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, that was just being nice. But yeah, you know what I mean? It was, you guys were sticking it in there. Like, you guys were, you're putting up a fight.
Yeah, and especially obviously the first half of the wild card game. Yeah, I think that's the best we played against you all year. But also the first half of that, I think it a Thursday night game last year. It was one of the primetime games we played you. It was at home, the game in Seattle. The first half, we didn't really let you guys run all over us, but then the second half was a different story. I think if we can just kind of play complete games against you guys, well, I don't think it's out of the question that we'll go 1-1 against you guys.
I have a feeling Kyle Shanahan does things a certain way. Mm-hmm. So, halftime corrections.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Shanahan already has that built in the scheme before anybody steps on the field. I think by how he starts to attack the defense from the start of the game, he knows what they're going to do, right? So he tries to find certain ways to still attack it within those perimeters and still get the ball down the field, right? And just try and, keep everything off, because if he doesn't show all his cards, before the, halftime, what are you going to make corrections on? You know what I mean? If your defense is working, then what can you make corrections on? So he just does that. He doesn't make any corrections real time until after the second half, because he's not letting you play. He's just rope-a-dope, essentially. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's going to try and put points on the field with certain things, but like this certain things he might use isn't what he's going to use after the second half. You know what I mean? So your teams come out thinking, oh, this is how we're going to do it, and it's not. You know what I mean? Because he switched it up. And that's how I feel at the end of last year. Almost D'Amico was playing people like that. Like, he had seen how, okay, it's like a bait and hook. Mm-hmm. A bait catch. You know what I mean? Like, because it seemed like after the second half, they pretty much, once they were able to get things under, they almost stonewalled you guys, both on offense and defense, essentially.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen like that with the same players that have been playing all game. That happens when the scheme changes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not like all of a sudden, I get my dander up and you get your dander up and we all get our dander up together, and then all of a sudden, 53 people all of a sudden decide no more. You know what I mean? Yeah, obviously it can happen, momentum shifts and this and that, but that was scheme that brought that apart. And then, like, the morale is what kept it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, our second half, we couldn't get a pass rush, and when they're running those deep crossers and you got no pass rush and you're running cover 3, I mean, what can you do? The pass rush is your best friend. especially in a cover 3 defense. So it's like, what do you do? But we got there. Nobody thought we were going to get there. I was just happy we made the playoffs last year. So
Yeah. No, and you've got some weapons coming this year. Like you said, the 3-headed snake, the Hydra, the Seahawk Hydra that it will be.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, everybody was excited about him.
And Jigba.
Yeah,
and that
everybody.
cornerback, obviously we got Woolen on one side, the athletic freak, and I think this guy's football instincts are just after watching him, I think he is something else. So we'll see. And then Adams will be healthy. I don't know. It'll be a good year. It really will. I'm really hoping so.
The thing I see is Kyle doesn't attack the outsides where all the good corners are.
Mm-hmm.
He attacks the center where the safeties and the slot guy and the linebackers where they, so I think that's, to me, yes, that should be scary, but right now I don't think of it as something like if you got like a really good safety or a really good linebacker, you know what I mean? Because that back. To me,
Bobby's
no,
back.
But I mean, like if you had a guy like Fred Warner who could run a route with CeeDee Lamb, up on the line like he's about to blitz, faking like he's about to blitz, and then be able to backpedal. You know what I'm saying? No, not backpedal, but run backwards when checking in. Bro, that's if you had a guy like that, then I'd be like, oh shit, because that's kind of where we make our money is where that guy would be hanging around.
Yeah.
So, but for other teams, it's different. You know what I mean? For other teams, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get one-on-ones on the outside, and so having a guy like that is going to be good. Zone, to me, zone shouldn't be played on third down. And I think you need to make sure that you have all your guys who can play man. And then you teach them zone. And, you teach them better how to field the zones and all that stuff in there, because I think that's where that's the money down. Is third down is the money down. If you got guys who can just blanket people, no matter what position, doesn't matter about anything else. You run, so that's me.
In an ideal world, yeah. But yeah, obviously you got to have the right personnel.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find, especially with linebackers, and especially how fast these receivers are getting, how good they're getting at running routes. But then again, the defensive back, same way. So,
Fred Warner is probably a unicorn right now. Not necessarily a unicorn, but you know what I mean? Like it's there's not a lot his type in there, and who knows, he might be, like George Kittle is with tight ends. You got a lot of tight ends that are trying to, not necessarily be George Kittle, but show they have the essence. You know what I mean? And they have the essence of George Kittle. They want to make sure that they show that they got trucking abilities. They want to prove that they can block. You know what I mean? They, especially some of these kids coming up. You know what I mean? Some of the guys we drafted are like geeking out because they get to play with George Kittle, the guy they watch a lot. So, and Fred could be doing that just the way that like DK, he could really change some things. You know what I mean? Having people his size wanting to play wide receiver, like when I think he's underutilized. I thought he would be way more deadlier, because I remember Anquan Bolden, and he wasn't the size that the DK is, and Anquan was a savage out there. You had to come laced up, you know what I mean? Because he was going to take it from you.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people think in Seattle, is that he's underutilized. But
I don't think this is fair. We got Geno like we got Jimmy G. I don't think Jimmy G was supposed to be our answer, I felt, Gino's not supposed to be the answer. Gino knows that. Gino knows there's going to be a time he pretty much knows he's a bridge quarterback, and he's also getting older. Like, what is he? How old is he? 33?
Yeah, 33.
So, you know what I mean? Like, whether he can play really well for the next couple of years doesn't mean that he's going to be able to play well for another 4 or 5 years after that. You know what I mean? So he's essentially a bridge quarterback till whenever Seattle decides to draft the guy. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. And he understands it. And that's a better situation that we were in with Jimmy G, because Jimmy G thought he was the franchise. He thought he was the thing, and then everybody else did. And then when you figured out that you know, when Kyle all of a sudden realizes he doesn't want Jimmy G anymore, then you got the issue with Trey, and now the locker room's kind of like, well, this is not cool. But so I just, you know, it's a different situation, and I don't. Now the McKinnon, that pisses me off. You know, McKinnon.
Jarek?
We had him on. Yeah, we paid him all this money to be injured, and then he just like doesn't do anything for like 2 or 3 years. We finally get him off contract, and he goes to the Chiefs, and all of a sudden, he's fine. He's fine. He's just flying down the field. It's like, what the hell? What is going on? Where was that? Now, I get being injured. Okay, the 1 year he didn't play because he was injured. We paid him and all that, right? The next year, I understand you not being 100% that year, but we're talking about it took you 4 years to get right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, that's probably going to happen with Rashad Penny here. Rashad Penny showed flashes of being great here, but he could never stay on the field. And I think he's going to go to Philadelphia and be really freaking good next year.
It happens. Look at what happened to Richard Sherman. Like, Richard Sherman left Seattle. He had 1 year with the 49ers where it was like, what's going on here with Richard? And then all of a sudden, it was like he was back there for a year until the end of the Super Bowl, and then he wasn't there no more.
God,
Which
I wish he could.
I had been saying, move him to safety. I said, move him to safety because, like, he could. Oh, he's so smart. Just move him to safety. He'll know what play's going on. He'll be able to get in a position, and he might pick that thing. But he didn't want to move to safety. He wanted to be a cornerback. Just shut up, Richard. We all get slow with age, okay? Just embrace it. Put the mind to work. You don't have to run as much being a safety, bro. You know what I mean? You don't have to do all that being a safety. Use your mind to get you in the right position, and you'll be able to make the highlight reel all day long. But he didn't want to do that.
No.
Oh, I'm getting called out here. James Richard Garoppolo. See, because I said Jimmy G, and he's right. It's James. I just, for anybody's, like, this is a Seahawks channel, so if Seahawks fans were to be watching this, they might not understand the James references.
He wins with the faders. I got sick of hearing our own team. He wins.
He wins the faders. I got sick of hearing our own fan base say that. Yes.
Yeah.
Like, he had this undying love from George Kittle, who he would throw a hospital ball at least once a game to. And Kittle had more yards and more touchdowns from like every other quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo. And still, he was just like, "Oh, you're my favorite." And then Trey comes in, it's like, you're not cool." I don't know. Grant Cohn was on earlier with Jesse Naylor when we went live, and the title was all of a sudden George Kittle's friends with Trey Lance or something like that, or good friends with Trey Lance. So something might have came out, but I'm pretty sure that might be a little clickbaity.
Yeah.
David McNider, were you in that? Brian Culp, were you in that? Were you listening to what they were talking about?
If Jimmy G gets the Raiders to the playoffs, I would. Hell, if you guys are in the playoffs and Jimmy G's in the playoffs, whatever. That's kind of how I am.
I've been working on a video, a hype video, Debo Samuel. So I'm kind of been busy. So I kind of was working on some things, and then I realized, oh crap, time to do a show. And that's what it's supposed to be at 6, and then he's like, oh, I forgot. I was like, no, you're good, because I was like, look, I almost forgot, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, I almost forgot because I was in the middle of cranking this thing out. Check y'all, anybody watching, check the channel out on Saturday at I think it's at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. There is a Debo Samuel hype / highlight video that I made, and yeah.
Well,
I think y'all appreciate it.
Do you got anything else going on this week? What you got going on? Unless you
we got the Friday
night
show.
Yeah.
No, we can cut it. We can cut it. Got the Friday night show on Friday. We're kind of testing some things out. So please feel free to roll on through. Let us know what you think. Trying to get more entertainment into the show, which we will be doing here and there. Yeah,
man. I think all I got going on so far, I'm just kind of getting back into it, getting back into the groove of things this week. But I just think I'll pop on for your Friday show a little bit. I know I got the little nephew here with us Friday night, so I'll hop on for a little bit for sure, and then that's about it.
Yeah, bro.
All right. Well, with that, any final words? Oh, when's your next segment?
It should be for Friday. I will have to make sure I get that going.
Start researching, Sponge. Start researching, because he threw you some fucking hard ones last time I went on. I was like, "What is this, dude?"
There's some crazy ones.
So
I got
all right, guys.
Yeah.
We will see you Friday then. Later.
Peace.